What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back to talk about that Monique Samuels, honey. I told y'all, she said one thing at that reunion and then went to All About the Tea, honey, on YouTube, and did an interview with them. I'm gonna play, a video that she did, I believe, on Instagram Live, where she explains why she quit the show, and then I will be playing the interview that she did with All About the Tea, and I will be in and out with my commentary. So let's get started, guys.
You know, it was a crazy ride. It's not easy doing reality TV, and to be quite honest, y'all, I'm over it. So I appreciate everything that people have done for me, everybody that's been Team Monique. I love y'all. I thank y'all. But when you cross certain lines, there's no going back. And for me, my family is that line. And the opinion of my family and my kids and what they think about anything that I do is more valuable to me than anybody's opinion. So I'm over it. So love y'all too. Thank you.
In your Instagram Live Sunday night, you stated it's not easy doing reality TV, and to be quite honest, I'm over it. Can you clarify your statement? What does that mean exactly?
I'm over the fakery. I'm over the real hate that's been happening behind the scenes and just being treated unfairly. Why is it that every season I'm looked at to be the one who has to be accountable, but then when I'm expecting to receive some accountability in my direction for things that have been done to me, it's like crickets.
Really quickly, you guys, before she finishes, she is so full of shit. Monique is always down for the cause on Real Housewives of Potomac when everybody is against Candace. You saw a lot of that. I played y'all the audio of season 4 where they all was coming down on Candace for calling Michael and Ashley out on their treacherous behavior. And y'all remember Candace pretty much got Ashley together and said, oh, you trying to have a baby and you doing all this damn drinking. And I didn't feel like there was anything wrong with that, right? You know, she's trying to make sense out of Ashley's behavior. Now, instead of Monique respecting Candace as a grown woman and letting her form her own opinions, Monique began to be very controlling towards Candace. Like, you can't say that, and you can't do that, and you know, she's always thrown Candace under the bus with these women. So, y'all remember season 4, you saw Giselle and Robin pretty much be on Monique's side during that whole ordeal with Ashley, and there was no unfairness then. You know, when you are cool with the green-eyed bandit and y'all are seeing things the same way, it's all good in the hood then. But as soon as, you know, you're iced out, as soon as you're being held to task and you're being forced to take some accountability for your actions, you don't want to do that because now it's on you. But it was okay, you know, for you to be with the other women and gang up on Candace season 4. So much so that you said that you would drag her pregnant and all, and season 5 you did drag her, and your response on why you dragged her is she asked me to. So if somebody asks you to jump off a bridge, you go do it. Miss Perfect Patty, you should have walked away. I never seen you walk away from anything, but you expect for Candace to be the bigger person and walk away from things, and she's younger than you. So make it make sense, because the damn show ain't making no deposits.
Nobody cares. Nobody is enforcing anything. You know, I'm getting phone call after phone call. Like, I have to be the person that brings the whole group together and makes it whole, as if I'm the one causing so much when I'm just responding to whatever was brought at me. So the incident between Candace and I was definitely one that I had to take full ownership of and accountability for my part in it. I had no problem doing that, but it took me the time and the space to process everything that went down. And I was never given that time. I went from the fight. The next night I had an event at DFW with Robin. I went right back to mommy mode. I had family in town. My husband was being inducted into the Redskins, the Washington team.
More deflections, more distractions, okay? None of that has nothing to do with nothing.
Their Ring of Fame. So we had 20 people staying at our house from Friday until Monday. That Monday, I had the Bravo photo shoot with all the...
Well, bitch, you got, about 5 houses. Why you didn't offer one of those houses to the family? I mean, there's ways to get around that or make these people stay at a hotel. I'd be damn, I'm going through all this mental anguish and I got all this family, staying with me. And I know people will say, well, she already knew they were coming, but you got the resources to put them people somewhere else. You making excuses.
Cast. That Tuesday is when I was in Karen's living room explaining to the ladies that I was sorry that they were put in harm's way.
And you were not sorry for your actions towards Candace.
I was able to fully process it. And for people to think that, you should have shown remorse right away. Well, you're not in my shoes and you don't know anything about what I've been through and what my mindset was at the time. So give me that courtesy to process things. It took Candace over a year to apologize to Ashley for the things that she did to Ashley.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? More deflections, more distractions. Whatever happens between Candace and Ashley has nothing to do with you. These young ladies knew each other from the pageant world before they got with you on this show. Girl, stop it.
Ashley and Michael. And even then, that was still like squeezing out an apology. So why is it that person can have all the time in the world, but then when it comes to me, I'm supposed...
She's like a little 10-year-old. My daughter is 12. She don't talk and act like this, but I'm going to say about 9 or 10-year-old. I'm not seeing a grown woman. And that is why, we saw what we saw at that reunion. She's not grown up yet. And it's so funny. I told y'all in all of my videos, she likes to project being grown on Candace. Oh, Candace is a little girl. Remember what her pastor said. Your friendship with Candace is a reflection of you. Candace is a reflection of you. So what we tend to do is we tend to tell other people they're wrong for this, they're wrong for that. Y'all remember I did the video on the shadow side of your character, right? So all of that finger pointing you're doing to Candace, you got what? The rest of your fingers pointed back at you. So you could take some accountability, so you could see yourself for who and what you are. That way, Monique, you could do better in the future. It's not about just crucifying you and just being done with you. This is so you can become a better person in the future and make wise decisions. Okay, and that way you could be the best mother to your children. But with this type of logic that you have, you're not going to be able to be the best parent that you could be to those kids. I actually feel sorry for them. And I see how their father acts. Because at least in Candace's relationship, if Candace is, getting too overly emotional with things, we have her husband, Chris, there. He's there to balance her out and get her to think logically, right? And yes, it's okay for Candace, you guys, to have emotions, but your emotions, they got to be balanced. You have to, balance it out. That way you could articulate yourself to people and they will listen. A lot of people are not listening because they are gaslighting her behavior. They see her crying, then they see people cuss. They see her cussing people out, and then they use it against her. Do you see what I'm saying? If you look at the comments on YouTube on the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, or just on different YouTubers doing reviews on the show, you will collectively see people making fun of Candace crying, and you will collectively see people getting on her about her mouth. Okay? They are gaslighting her because they're saying, oh, in one breath you're crying and doing all this, that, and the other, and then in the next breath you're cussing people out. They need to see balance to take her seriously. But a lot of people don't want to take her seriously because they just don't like her. And that's fine if you don't like somebody. But even if you don't like somebody, you still should have some type of compassion. And a lot of people, I realize, they really don't have that. It's just, oh, you got your ass whooped. Oh, well, if you keep that damn mouth shut. I would hate to see how some of y'all is in relationships. Because some of y'all have that mindset of where, oh, I was talking shit, so my man had the right to just beat my ass in front of the kids. Oh, well, like if you got that mindset in this Candace and Monique situation, I would hate to look at how you approach everyday life relationships with a man and a woman, and just any of your relationships. I will look at you suspect. So, yeah, this girl is going down, in the words of Portia, the wrong road, the wrong road. And she just needs to stop doing the interviews. She really do, because it's just making shit worse. And I wish somebody on her team, okay? I say that lightly, honey, because all of y'all act like y'all on her damn team. I wish somebody would check her, because making somebody accountable, that's the only way to go. That's the only way to really be a real friend. Have you ever told a real friend the truth about themselves? Not because you wanted to hurt their feelings, not because you want to bring them down, but because you want them to grow and become better. When you know better, you do better. But if she still ain't gonna know better, then she gonna still think that, whatever she did with Candace is okay and she's justified. And no. You are wrong for what you did to Candace, for your behavior before y'all got to that winery, and you are wrong for doing all these damn interviews before the season started, after the season started, after the reunion. Just, it's too much.
To just start pleading and crying and begging for forgiveness right away when I fully hadn't processed everything that went down.
I agree with you. So for clarification, are you stepping away from the Real Housewives of Potomac? Have you resigned from the show?
I am stepping away. I sent an email asking to be released from my contract right after the conclusion of the reunion last night.
What did I tell y'all right after part 3? Why she didn't do that for part 1? Because everything was in her favor. She took pride in embarrassing Giselle and airing out Jamal's, dirty laundry. That way I can clown and run amok, act a fool, but the minute I'm held accountable, I gotta leave. I'm the victim. She's a coward. Her and her husband.
Night, I was very disappointed because the one thing that I expected was for me and my family to have vindication. When it came to the fight, we were sort of vindicated after episode 2 of the reunion.
Look, I'm looking to be vindicated. Selfish. It's all about me and how I feel, not, I'm looking to explain my side of things. I'm looking to truly apologize to Candace. The apology you guys she gave was garbage. And I would have did better with her saying, you know what, bitch, after a while of being friends with you, I didn't like you like that. I started to see how you moved, and I didn't like that. So I had hate and disdain in my heart for you. That's why I treated you the way that I did. I can do good with real, but I can't do good with the fake and phony, and 1 minute I'm sorry, next minute I'm not, the next minute this, the next minute, well, y'all started a rumor about my baby not being my husband. Like, you keep flipping and switching. And I told y'all, she's a narcissist. And what do narcissists do? They wear masks. And the mask slipped at that reunion. Her husband's, his slipped too. Okay?
Great, because I have been saying the same story from day one. And to actually
That's another damn lie. I've been saying the same damn story. No, you ain't been saying. Have you been? Stop looking at these videos of the people that support you and start looking at the videos of the people that don't support you. And we will tell you, bitch, your story has changed so many times. Okay? I just saw a video with Sharice. I believe I saw that video before, but I'm going to play it again in another video. I saw a video where Sharice, where she said, Monique is a really big liar, and she gets to the point where she starts to believe her own lies. And I have to agree with that, Monique. That looks like a very accurate perception of her to have about you. Okay, so
production backed me in what I was saying transpired as far as I perceived it was great. But the other thing was my family dynamic. That was something that I've always said. During this show, my family is off limits. My marriage is off limits. People can start rumors, that's fine. But when you cross the line of involving innocent children, that's when I have a problem. So after the reunion and I watched the episode and I saw that they played me and my husband's response in our live video, but they did not play what prompted that live video. I was very disappointed. I mean, it was like, I was furious. I was very upset because I said, how is it that when other people need to be accountable for their actions, we just gloss over it? We give them a pass. But I'm supposed to be the person to take on all the heat, which I did. I said at that reunion, and I took all of it. I responded when I needed to. I was cut off.
You was cut off. You were cutting people off. Andy had to tell you several times to let Candace speak, to let others speak. Your husband got out there. He started doing the same thing, cutting people off, threatening people. And then he tried to apologize for the threats and then turned around and walked off stage and said, I'm playing chess, not checkers. Like, who are y'all fooling with this delusional behavior? But like I always tell you guys, okay, you can only pretend for so long. And, you know, your slip will show eventually. Your true colors will show. Okay? So that's why I always tell people, keep it real.
I was being verbally attacked on the low by people. And I still sat there and I took it. And when I expected for other people to sit there and take what they did, they get a pass. They get to skate on by and we're just going to look the other way and we're going to paint a picture as if my husband and I are that pressed for story.
Girl, you and your husband brought up, Bravo protected you from this rumor, because really what they could have did was made what your husband said to Giselle at that at your house, because y'all wasn't at the lake house yet. They could have played that, okay, when he said to her, well, Giselle, who does the baby look like? The baby look like me, don't it? And Giselle said, well, who else would the baby look like? And her husband, Chris, just laughed. He didn't mention the trainer. See, if we're going to do TV, then let's do TV, okay? Y'all should have brought up the trainer. Well, you know what I'm saying? But production protected you. They didn't even air that on the show. We didn't see it as the viewing audience until the reunion. Okay? You and your husband kept bringing that up to justify your bad behavior because you lack in the accountability department. Okay, I told y'all she is the master of deception, deflections, and distractions. That's why she got that damn bird and she laughing with the damn bird. And, oh, I like this bird more than people. Yeah, because he gonna believe your lies. Okay, he gonna believe the lies you tell. A lie don't care who tell it. He gonna be with the shits. We're not. We gonna call you out. You don't want to be called to the carpet. Okay?
That we introduce our child purposely for TV. Like, come on, let's be real. We had no problem when Giselle went to her confessionals and did all her talking about the whole trainer rumor. I was actually relieved. I was relieved because she didn't mention my child. So I said, okay, we can ride with this little rumor if that's what they want to do.
So you was relieved she didn't mention your child, but didn't your husband at the reunion ask Robin and Candace, did they ever talk about his child or something? They said no. And then you asked Giselle. So now you telling another story in this new interview. I wish y'all could see my face right now. I'm going to just give you a moment of silence, sis, because you need it.
I'm fine with it. I know who I am. My husband knows who I am, and we stand in our truth, and that's fine. Then Candace goes live. For what reason, I have no idea. And I was going to ignore it. But when people kept messaging me over and over again, saying, hey, why is Candace talking about your child? I'm like, wait, what? And then it became more.
Let me bring other people in it. More deflections. And distractions.
More messages. I mean, people are DMing me on Twitter and on Instagram, sending me emails. I looked at my husband. I said, we got to respond to this. I even sent production a message and said, listen, watch this video. And when I go off tonight, you'll know why. And when me and my husband addressed it, now it's an issue. Because we addressed and defended our family and our child. Now it's an issue. So I expected that would be played out and done right at the reunion. And when that did not happen, it put a very sour taste in my mouth. And I'm not going to sit around for another season hoping that we'll receive an apology from somebody, hoping that they'll make the situation right. I'm not willing to do it. My family's worth more to me than that. And honestly, my family comes first. Like, there's no amount of money in this world that will have me put my kids in a position where they can look at me 10 years from now and say, Mom, why did you go back after what they did to you and Dad?
Look at her making herself the damn victim. It's really pathetic at this point. I'm just sitting up here looking at her like, you look a damn fool, okay? And these people at All About the Tea, they just egg her on even more.
To that, how could you be around these women? You think the women ever coming back up in my house? None of them ever coming back in any of my homes.
Oh, not even Karen and Ashley, your good Judies?
My children will never be on this show. My parent, he's fine. He'll be on my shoulder perched somewhere. But at the end of the day, how do you come back from that when real live hate has now been brought to the forefront of what's really been going on behind the scenes with this show? For 2 years, I had to put a smile on my face.
Did nobody tell your ass to put a smile on your face? You made a decision to have Giselle in your home. You made a decision to listen to what Giselle said in regards to Candace inviting Sharice to the party. You allowed Giselle to put a battery in your back. And we're not even mad at Giselle, bitch. We're mad at you for letting her do it, knowing she your damn enemy. Okay, that girl ain't never liked you. I think we collectively can agree that Giselle never saw it for Monique, right? But we saw you season after season trying to get some type of approval from her, okay? I remember the one clip of you trying to put Giselle's number in your phone. You tried to do that. You tried to give her and Robin a room. You didn't try. Hell, you did when y'all went out of town to France or wherever the hell y'all went. Okay? You kept trying to get her approval. You are an approval seeker. You don't never try to get approval from an enemy. That's a fool that does that. You don't have some bitch up in your house near your child that you talking about this rumor was spread about. Who does that? Well, I'm just going to show up and do my job. Bitch, who told you to do that? You did it. You decided to do that.
I had to put a smile on my face. I had to welcome these women in my home for the sake of the show. Nobody is more team RHOP than me. Right. What I had to do for the sake of the show, and that was not easy, but I still did it, knowing that I had these women in my house, knowing what half of them were doing behind the scenes. And I still put a smile on my face. I still was cordial, so long as they don't talk about my family.
More deflections, more distractions, more excuses. Now, you guys, something else has been brought to my attention that people are trying to throw my girl Nene Leakes into the mix. Now people are disgusted because Andy at the reunion held Monique accountable. Now he really is a racist. Now he really must have it out for the black woman because it's Monique. See, bitch, when it was Nene, it was get her loudmouth ghetto ass off that show. Don't nobody like her. Don't nobody want to see her spin off with Greg and them kids and her grandkids. You've burned your bridges. You don't play your cards like Candy Burris. Shout out to Funky Dineva that has said all those things. Now that bitch is over there backtracking on his channel, talking about how he talked to some executive. I got the video. I'll be playing it for you guys in another video. He's full of shit. He ain't nothing but a clout-chasing social climber. Okay? I still see the behavior that Michelle Brown had to deal with when it came to him. And it's so funny, people like to just throw Michelle Brown under the bus. Okay, I'm talking about Atlian. Y'all know her. And I'm not at all saying, you guys, Michelle Brown isn't messy. You know, she has her ways about her as well. But the things that she has said about Funky Dineva through the years, to me, they still reign supreme. They still is still true. It's just something about him that I don't like. Don't get me wrong, he creates great content. I told y'all, I've always kind of been a fan of his. I'm more of a fan of Quentin, you know, when he begins talking intellectually. But all the flip-flopping and the backpedaling and pussy popping and, oh, now Bravo is racist. Maybe Nene had a point. Bitch, please, sit down. Have several seats. Okay? Y'all always want to defend the enemy, Nene, when it's convenient for you. Okay? Because that reunion, it didn't go the way you wanted it to. Okay? And it's so funny, the same people that's out here supporting Monique are the same people that saw part one of that reunion, and I believe that Andy told Candace she's a mess on Twitter. Her life would be a lot better if she's not on Twitter being messy, cussing people out. Y'all was clapping for that. Andy wasn't a racist then. All of a sudden, because Miss Monique Samuels, y'all so-called fan favorite, she don't get her way, her and her husband, on part 3, because they are made to look stupid. Okay, because Bravo rolled the footage. We saw it. We didn't hear about it. It wasn't no Instagram Live. We saw Monique and Chris bring up the situation with the baby, the paternity. Remember, I just said it, okay? Giselle, who the baby, you know, don't the baby look like me? And she like, yeah, you know, yeah. Who would the baby look like? They got quiet with that. They didn't want to bring up the trainer. And Chris, I really do believe, since you don't want to talk about that trainer, you really do feel that your wife was getting ready to have an affair on you. You listened to Gigi. You and Gigi had a conversation. I believe it. I believe that as soon as people start telling the truth about Monique, she'll discard them. Okay, just look at what she's doing on this show. The truth is out about you. Now I'm going to discard the show. I don't want nothing to do with the show. We didn't seen her do it with Candace. I can't handle your mouth, so I'm going to beat your ass and put your ass in your place and discard you. Friendship meant nothing. And bitch, why are you still crying about it? I'm over it. Okay? Look at the behavior. Look at Sharice. I don't want Sharice around, and Candace invited Sharice, and you let Giselle put that battery in your back. Okay? The very person that has never liked you. You side with her. You sit up and do scenes with her instead of being a grown woman having a conversation with Candace and saying, well, didn't I tell you this? And I believe Candace and Sharice, because I saw a video with Sharice where she said Candace didn't know that there was such an issue with me and Monique because I didn't even know it. We had just sat together and was cordial at Ashley's baby shower. Guess what? We saw the pictures. This isn't hearsay, right? So am I supposed to not believe what my eyes see and what my ears hear? Okay?
You have to stand in your truth, Monique, and I applaud you for having principles, having morals, integrity, and standing up and saying, y'all crossed the line.
Shit, all the shit you naming, she ain't got, okay?
Family is off limits. A lot of these reality stars can't do the same. So there you have it, folks. It's official. Monique has resigned from the Real Housewives of Potomac. I want to address something because there's been a lot of rumors that you were not asked back. You didn't receive a contract. Or I've also heard that you were asked back, but you got a friend of role. Can you clarify that?
Yeah, so it doesn't really happen like that. A lot of times when people do get demoted to a friend, sometimes that happens while you're already filming the season. So what happens is you have an exercise in your contract that says that I can move forward with what was stated previously. And it's called an offer. And I definitely received an offer along with a phone call. And I was actually excited to be back and to know that, okay, this time I'm going to redeem myself. I'm going to show my growth. But when
you're gonna redeem yourself. So I thought you said that you're the victim and you didn't really do too much wrong, but now you sit up here talking about how you gotta redeem yourself. Which one is it, sis? Because I'm confused.
I saw episode 3 of the reunion. I said, you know what? Can't do this anymore. But in the type of person I am, if I can't
handle being held accountable for my actions, but I want to hold Candace accountable. I want to hold Giselle accountable. Let me get it up off of me.
To be fired, I would have no problem sitting here and saying, hey, yes, I was let go. But that's not what happened.
Now, really quickly, guys, let's discuss Bravo and how they move. A lot of people, are talking about because she fought Candace, she wasn't going to be allowed to film a lot of episodes of season 6. She was going to be punished the same way that Portia was punished when she fought Kenya. I do believe they asked her back, but I do not believe that she got a certain amount of episodes because I saw her, and I don't know if it's on this interview, but I know I heard out of Monique's mouth that she said that for season 5, after she fought Candace, she didn't get paid for like 3 episodes. So yeah, she didn't just walk away from this show. What I'm thinking is they decreased her episodes, right? Because of the fight, because of the bad behavior. And it wasn't enough money for her to come back. It was kind of like, yeah, I'm asked back, but I don't like that amount of money. And, she's still in denial about what she did wrong. So all of that and her just not wanting to be accountable, her not wanting to look bad, because part 3, honey, you may have won the battle, honey, on part 1, but Giselle and Bravo and Andy and everybody, they won the motherfucking war. Let's just call a spade, okay, on part 3. And she didn't like that. Okay, then in her contract, I'm sure they cut her money down, and she probably began talking to that big ass bear of a husband and said, well, child, they ain't really offering me that much. I might as well walk away, and then I'll make it look like it's disrupting our family, similar to her keep bringing up her damn baby and the paternity of the baby, but I digress. Do you see what I'm saying? This girl is the master, like I keep telling y'all, of deception and deflection and distractions. Okay? And I'm not here for it.
And I had to make the choice. And honestly, it probably would have been a little easier had they fired me versus me actually just sitting down and being real and saying, you know what? I have to walk away. So it would have just been a lot easier because I do feel some part of me let a lot of my fans down who have been rooting for me. Everybody.
Yeah, you let them down because they are really up in these videos, girl. They is up in these videos saying she needed to be dragged. She asked to be dragged. Girl, you got a big ass fan base. Okay, they is really, and it's so funny that y'all went so hard for this bitch just for her to just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna become a lazy mom. Okay, that's a little play on words for the not for lazy moms, but she just threw y'all away. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all gonna let her do that? Y'all see me, instigating, but honey, I'm just keeping it real, honey.
That's been hashtagging Team Monique. I stand with Monique, and I really didn't want to let those people down. And honestly, sometimes when the seasons were getting rough, that's what kept me going.
What about when it's rough for the other women? It's been rough for Karen, But Karen. How y'all feel about Karen now? I know this is about Monique, but Karen, they coming after Karen's ass next season. I see a bad season for Karen. After that shit I heard she did to Candace trying to get her fired, and you sitting up here defending Muhammad Ali, Monique, like, girl, you got a lot of nerve, Karen. Karen, like, I have a love-hate relationship with Karen. It used to be mostly love, but after that shit at the reunion, if I was Candace, child, I wouldn't have too much to do with Karen. I wouldn't try to control whose side she had. I would just stop fucking with her. Silence is golden. You could do more with silence than you could ever do, honey, by speaking. Okay?
I had to get to that point, and I was just like, I hope I don't disappoint anybody, but I have to...
You did. You disappoint your fans. Do you care? No, you don't. We're going to go ahead, guys, and end the video right there. We will be back. I will be back. I love you guys. I'll be back for a part 2, okay, of the deception, distraction, and deflection tour with Miss Monique Samuels, honey. I done gave this girl a soap opera as the light turns. I done gave her a tour of the deception, deflection, and distraction tour, okay? Come on and join me, honey. We go on and we go tour and be in a city near you, honey, okay? Okay, all right, you guys. Don't forget, you guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. You also can share my videos, honey. Okay, we need a little help over here. All right, I am your girl, brand new, you guys, and I will check you guys out in the next video.